Neuroleptic malignant syndrome. How are we going to memorize this? What's happening here? This is an adverse effect that happens when we block too many dopamine receptors. So in essence, the body can't even communicate with itself because I'm blocking its main method of transmission between the different organ systems. So this is an adverse effect. We're going to use the acronym FEVER to help us memorize these side effects, the effects of neuroleptic malignant syndrome. So the first thing to keep an eye out for is a fever. We're not talking about 99, 100. This client will eventually get to 103, 104, where we're looking at major neuro damage at that point. E, encephalopathy. So how do we know that someone's having enlargement of like the brain? Increase in ICP or intracranial pressure. V, vital signs instability. This is mostly, we're going to see increased heart rate and increased and decreased blood pressure, really unstable blood pressure. You can check it, it'll be 180 over 120, and then you'll see the nurse that says, oh, I don't like that. Check it again in 5 minutes. If I checked it again in 5 minutes, it may be 120 over 80. And then I'm going to say, oh, I like that number. I'm not going to check it again. No, you better check it again in 5 more minutes because odds are it's probably going to be 90 over 40. You check it again and it's going to be way different. The baroreceptors in our vessels don't know what pressure to be at, so they fluctuate. E, elevated CPK. I start looking at tissue damage. Elevated CPK. Creatine phosphokinase. R is rigidity, hyperreflexia. So what are we going to do with this? Treat something called bromocriptine and dantrolene, muscle relaxant. If you do not, this person will eventually go into cardiac arrest and die. Does anyone know what bromocriptine is? If there's some effect that causes prolactin to increase, so you're right that it causes prolactin to decrease, but because what? What do you think it does? The dopamine agonist. With whatever receptors are open, I want to help support the transmission on those open receptors. That's what bromocriptine does. It doesn't strip any receptors that are blocked. We have to wait for that to naturally be metabolized, but bromocriptine will help support the receptors that are open. Dantrolene, it's a muscle relaxant. It's going to help for the muscle rigidity. Now, the reason why this is happening is because the dose it's so a couple different things. Either A, I'm in liver failure, so I'm not able to metabolize the antipsychotic. B, I overdosed. I'm trying to kill myself. Or C, the initial dose is way too high. So we'll begin to see NMS because of those reasons.